Mā ringi noa ngā roi mate e ngai wi he waitohu no te kamo kia rātou mā kukutū e ngā mate. Kua rohaina nei e hau, ngā mate o te wā, hara mai haere. Tātou kei te o maramati he wa mauri ora, and welcome back to the hui. More than 80 kilos of edible kai is dumped by each household in Aotearoa every year on average. Dumped food that could feed 500,000 households for a year. Connecting unwanted kai to whānau in need is a driving focus for one Rotorua couple. And as Ruwani Perera found out, Rotorua Whakaora gives priority to kai mātua.
A clear and crisp morning in Murupara, Eastern Bay of Plenty. As produce gets put out,
heaps of apples, red onions and white onions.
the call goes out to whānau far and wide.
Kia ora te iwi. We are opening our gates at 8:30 a.m. and I'm just taking you for a sneak peek around our kai. Got a different assortment of veggies, heaps of lemons.
Sometimes they're here at 5:30, waiting. We've always stated that we won't give the kai out until 8:30.
Every Thursday, volunteers transform this hauora centre into a supermarket of sorts, but with no checkouts. There's no money exchanged here, it's all free food.
It's a tireless job. It's about doing something for this community to support and help them in any way we can. A lot of our people struggle from day to day. Just puts that little bit on the table. It doesn't put everything on the table. It just fills the gaps.
This food has been rescued. Perfectly good produce that didn't make it into someone's shopping basket. The kai is offered to whānau here in Murupara, as well as Tokoroa, Kawerau and Rotorua, to help ease the impact of soaring grocery bills.
How much do you think you save coming here?
A good about $300.
Helping our people out. That's what it is at the end of the day.
Distributing rescued food throughout the rohe is the brainchild of Rotorua couple Gina and Elmer Paifa.
What you get for free, you give away for free, and the food that you give out is for everybody. It's not just for one class, one tribe, one race, one gender. It's for everybody that's in need.
Elmer and Gina started feeding those in need 13 years ago. The hui first met the couple in 2017 when they were housing and feeding street whānau in Rotorua.
It's all done for love. It's all done because there's a need. I just don't get it. When do people stop caring about people? When you're hungry, you can't focus on anything else. So let's take care of that hunger need and then see what follows.
The last time we saw you was 8 years ago. Have you been busier than ever?
We're busier than ever. The numbers have grown.
Their new charity, Rotorua Whakaora, is still focused on looking after those in need, rescuing food that would otherwise be thrown out.
Because they need to eat. They want to feed their families. They don't get enough. If you're on a benefit, you pay your rent. You might be able to pay your power. You don't have anything left for food. Supermarket's not going to come and turn your fridge off because you didn't go shopping for food this week. Power company will turn your power off. So it's prioritising, and food is now always the last thing. That's the thing they can go without the most, and they do. And they shouldn't have to.
Elmer collects unsold kai from local businesses and supermarkets, like Rotorua's Pak'nSave, every day of the week.
So we have a process where we filter out all the things that get damaged throughout the day, and we have a team member go through and they sift and sort and they organise what is good to go and what is really probably not so safe.
Hey, Chief.
Doing all right?
Not too bad.
And those items then get boxed up and brought out here for Elmer to collect in the morning along with yesterday's bread.
Yeah, big stash of bread there. That's just a day old, that bread.
That bread was baked yesterday. It feels good to know that it's going to people who need it.
If we pick up the food, it goes out. Yeah, there is no state public holidays. We don't shut our doors ever because great that we're having a holiday, but people still need to eat.
Kawerau has its own dedicated pātaka kai every Friday. At all of these free kai stores, the over 60s get served first.
Well, it's an excellent thing for a community like ours.
There's such a huge gap with supports for our kaumātua these days. This is just one area that we cover. We are grateful to cover, but there's a bigger need out there. I'll give you enough to make yourself mashed potatoes. You got a heap? Oh.
Gloria Tapaki has been running the Kawerau Koha shop since it opened 2 years ago.
You're welcome. We can hit between 100 and 120 people a week.
This must help.
Heaps. I don't want to cry, but yeah.
Why is that?
I don't know, because the cost of living's gone up really high.
It makes an awful lot. We're retired, we're immigrants, and yeah, it's fantastic. Everything has been given free of charge, and the people are lovely. So we're very, very grateful.
Does it help you make ends meet?
It does, definitely help. It's definitely.
The 60 plus, they're kind of like the last ones to ask for help. To reach out and say, hey, I need help is a big thing for them.
Unused school lunches get reused here.
Yes, they do, and the whānau love it. Our kaumātua find it much easier for them to heat up and so they don't have to cook. The most popular food item, believe it or not, is bread. Seeing our whānau come in and seeing it in their eyes, how grateful they are, it's still, it's beautiful. I'm just grateful to be able to help.
Mushrooms over here, do one green. Oh, you got salad over there?
Rotorua whakaora are grateful to the businesses that donate their surplus kai and encourage others to get involved.
A lot of them aren't aware of the Good Samaritan clause, which will allow them to donate. So the Good Samaritan clause was created so that it would encourage businesses who dealt with food to actually pass on the good food to those organisations that can distribute it, like us. They're not at fault if the food should at some stage make somebody else sick. There's no blame that comes back onto them. That's completely removed.
Are you seeing less waste and more need?
No, I think the waste has been pretty much the same on par. We find that the need just gradually increases month by month, yeah.
That just shows the sad state of affairs that's out there.
Tough for an isolated place for like Murupara. You look, what's here? You know, all the jobs in the forestry were pulled out. That was one of the main support for our whānaus, their incomes. Now a lot of that's gone.
Murupara's Hauora Centre wants to see whānau less dependent on others for their kai, setting up these hot houses to teach families how to grow their own food.
Because our motto has always been for the Hauora is to ensure over there that our people are independent. Because if the Hauora is not here tomorrow and this kai is not here tomorrow, where does that leave our people?
Just down the road at the motor camp, resident Joseph Marsden has started a soup kitchen. The trained chef putting the rescued kai to good use. He feeds around 20 whānau living here.
I wanted to cry because what a waste of food when there's people out there that need it.
Today's soup for lunch is we're having chicken soup and we're having a sausage soup.
Oh, I just want to utilise it. I want to make something out of it.
Back in Rotorua, elderly whānau patiently brave the elements outside Gina and Elma's home.
I think they're an absolutely amazing couple. They put their lives on hold, really, to do this.
The couple are desperate for sheltered premises they can operate from.
They should be given somewhere that we can go and keep out of this weather. It's stupid in the winter.
It's ridiculous. I mean, we're standing out here in shocking weather. This is the over 60s.
The fruit and veggies are over here.
Oh, okay. The volunteers doing it. They're not getting paid for it. And they should be given a building.
Hello, darling.
Rice pasta or noodles?
Noodles, thank you. We're the noodle family.
Building or no building, the queues keep growing.
What would I do without this place? You know, they have just helped me so much on the years, you know, on my limited benefit that I have.
Would you like to be out of business?
Yes, definitely would like to be out of business. Knowing that everybody has those basic human necessities taken care of. A roof over their head, you know, a warm place to live, food in their bellies.
Take as much food as you like, darling. Knowing that all those families we feed every week, every day of every week, are able to eat. That would make me happy, but that's not the way it is at the moment, so we'll be around for a lot longer, I think. Yeah.
Taro kau iho ana e hoa mā ka aro nui tātou ki te uepu e karangahia nei ko te ao māramatanga. President Hineroa Hakiaha is with us next. Nau hoki mai e tā marama ki tā tātou hui, e ngahunga atu ana ki e tahi mahi porotu te haere ake nei, me te mahi anō, hei haumaru i ngā nāhi. With strike action across the country from October 23rd by nurses over fair pay and conditions, and a mass walkout proposed on the 25th in the Bay of Plenty, the heat is on the government to meet demands for work conditions and fair pay for nurses across the country. But joining me now is the president of Te Ao Māramatanga, the New Zealand College of Mental Health Nurses. Her name is Hineroa Hakiaha. Hineroa tēnā koe.
Ai, tēnā koe.
No mai. Tēnā koe whai wahi mai koe kia matu. There's a lot of pressure on the government at the moment. What is the pressure on our nurses working in the mental health sector at the moment?
Oh, there's a lot of pressure. So we're probably one of the largest workforce in the country. In fact, we are. Probably 86,000 of us. And yeah, the pressure is, I suppose, it's meeting the demands of caring for our people in a safe way. And if you take that safety net away, yeah, it's going to cause harm to our whānau.
Does it feel like, Hineroa, that these actions that I've just talked about, is this last chance saloon? Is it a case of having to do this because that's the only option left now? Protest, strike, stop work, that kind of thing.
I think the government's asking a lot of the health workforce, nursing in particular, but also the need is great. And so there, our nurses are thinking, well, if you're not going to give me what I need to be a good nurse out there in the workforce, well, we will strike. We don't want to harm anyone, but you keep taking away the resources that help us. We're not going to be good caregivers of our people if you continue to do that.
So and to be clear, the resources we're talking about here aren't just staff shortages.
No.
What are we talking about, Hineroa?
So I suppose there are administration people that need to help with the appointments coming in for their care, times. Then you have your IT people, because you have to take notes, you have to put notes into to keep up with the demand of what is it that you're doing for our whānau. So those IT people have gone. And I suppose the most important one is us ourselves. So yeah, we need resources.
By that you mean well-being?
Well-being. And we're not getting that. If you're working at a pace that demands and just constantly demands, yeah.
Do you think because what we hear the government talk about is making it easier for overseas nurses to come to Aotearoa?
Oh, no.
Straight away you gave me that reaction.
Yeah.
Why no?
I don't think that's what they're doing. I've got my own whakaaro, and probably there's a number of us that think like this. I think they're looking for a workforce and it's not us. But they're not looking overseas. I think they're looking within the country, but it's a workforce that's probably not as skilled as what nurses, doctors, occupational therapists, and the allied health whānau. So I think they're looking for something else.
What are they looking for?
Yeah, I'm not sure what it looks like, but I think it's a workforce that Shall I say it? You know, I suppose it's a workforce that's not quite skilled enough. That's what I'm thinking. And I think there's a few of us that think like that.
Can I ask you a question that has been plaguing my mind on this?
Oh, yeah, go on.
You are a mental health nurse and a tiriti advocate.
Yeah.
And given the advent of what has happened with the Māori Health Authority, there was a feeling that we were kind of on the right track here.
Yeah, we were.
That's gone now. Is that what you mean? Is that when we had a system and a process and a workforce that was keen to look at tiriti outcomes within the workforce itself, Māori values, manaakitanga, wairuatanga, all that kind of thing, when you say they're looking for something different, is that what you mean?
I don't think they're going to... Well, there's a possibility as well. You know, I'm not going to be naive about it and say it's not. And our people of Aotearoa, including Māori, will be at risk, eh? And you take away the core values of someone's well-being, including the district health boards, you take away the essence of what life is within that hospital. And our government is doing that to us, taking away the essence of what keeps us ticking over, what keeps us running. And those are just simple, basic values of humanity, caring for people, the values that Māori have, which are so important to life, but also to our well-being. When you know you got wairuatanga and understand what that means for you, you're able to impart that on others. You have an opportunity, but you've also got a structure that helps you do that. And if you take away those, there's nothing there to hold that, I suppose, that emphasis of what life is when you're in a hospital, when you're caring for people, and you just take away the structure and you just don't have anything, just a hollow shell.
And so given the current political climate, when you and I talk the way that we're talking, is the future of the system now looking at something completely different from the way in which we're talking now, do you think, Hineroa?
Yeah, I've got a funny feeling that might be it, but not openly saying it to anyone. And I don't think any of us are saying it openly, but it kind of alludes to that. I don't think it's actually, that's my opinion, I suppose. It's not something that anyone else is saying, but it kind of gives you that sense. What are they looking for? What is it that they want? Here you have a workforce that's talented, skilled, and yet you're not even utilising them to the best of their ability. You're putting stumbling blocks in front of them by disabling them, and yet you're not considering the skill set that they have to care for people. If you're looking wider than that, what are you looking for?
Are you surprised at the amount of people who have swung in behind and supported both proposed actions?
You're not surprised at all.
Why is that?
I think we've had enough nurses across the country, but these guys are taking a step further, eh? If you're not going to listen to us, then we will do something about it. And knowing that there's a workforce that's also sympathetic, and there's another piece of that workforce that knows that it has an obligation. And so you've got a group that can take up the slack, you might say, in a way that's going to allow that to occur. And, you know, we've got a union that's quite strong. So there's two unions. There's the nursing unions, and then you've got the PSA. And so we're very much supporting our kaimahi to do what they need to do, but knowing that we will look after the place as well, to the best of our ability.
Hineroa, tēnā koe.
Ai, kia ora.
Whai wāhi mai rā. Koe kia mātou. Kia kahara kia koe, ki ngā nāhi katoa, I roto i a rātou mai.
O, tēnā koe hoa.
Kia ora mai rā.
Mā noi.
Kia ora mai rā. It was Hineroa Hakiaha e te iwai ki au te tonu mai. Ki tau tātou hui, e mātiro nui ana ki ngā mahi whatu kākahu. Tai hoa ake nei. Hoki mai anō e ngai iwi he hui ahurea tā tātou hui I aia nina. A Waitara wahine is making her mark on the fashion stage with designs blending whakapapa and Asian culture. Tessa Lont comes from a long line of seamstresses, and despite being based across Singapore and Hong Kong, she continues to represent her Taranaki roots. Meriana Johnsen has more.
Dripping in luxury, Singapore is a hotspot for high fashion. But in amongst these international brands, a new label is quietly breaking through. The artificial lights of Singapore are a world away from Waitara, Tessa's hometown.
I've still got that shirt, I still wear it. She would be the one that taught me to sew too. She taught me to crochet, knit, my gran, embroider. She taught me to embroider.
I guess everyone did back then, right?
Yeah.
This is Tessa's nan, Olwyn Bailey. She first learned to sew when she was just 10.
I used to stay here and Nan would be sewing and yeah, she'd like start sewing quite early in the morning and the old machine would make so much noise. She'd turn it on and it was like shake the whole house.
Taranaki had 3 clothing factories in the mid-20th century, and Olwyn put her skills to use at the Swan Dry factory in Waitara in 1958.
What was the atmosphere like at the Swan Dry factory?
Oh, it was awesome. It was fun. Never a dull moment. And happy, singing, you know. We'd sing with the music. The radio was on all the time, it was always music.
The Swan Dry factory moved operations to Timaru in the 90s and to Asia in the 2000s. Today, clothing production in Aotearoa has drastically declined.
The thing is, it costs so much now to make our own.
New Zealanders, they want Kiwi made, they want New Zealand made, but like the reality is that, you know, nobody wants to pay that much money to get something made. Like the costs that they're quite extreme.
And New Zealand fashion has changed a lot over the years too.
What do you think of her designs now?
I love some of them.
Some of them?
I'm not a fan of showing all my boobs and things, you know.
I think that was a bit of a creative barrier when I was a teenager. I'm like, oh, I just want the skirt a bit shorter, and she'd be like, no.
This collection by Tessa may not be what you'd expect of Māori design.
It's called kapa, and I want it to be like really playful and colourful and sporty. Being Māori, living in Singapore, going to the Formula 1 every year for the last 10 years, and being like, oh my gosh, I love these colours, thinking of home as well, and it's like, what would be the equivalent? Be matatini. It was like finding those connections, and it makes you create something completely unique.
From one culture to the next.
Kia ora! Kei te pai, no mai haere mai, ki taku whare.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah, welcome to my studio space, and yeah, let's go down to the workroom.
Cool, ka pai.
Tucked away in central Singapore, Tessa runs her label from home. A new collection is in the works.
We've got capes and mysterious sort of characters.
It's based on the 1966 novel Taipan, about Scottish traders moving to Hong Kong in the mid-1800s.
There's just so much richness in the story and the way that the garments are described, so that's what I liked about it.
But true to her brand, there are also elements from her tūranga waiwai.
This one here is a picture of the beach in Waitara, of the stones. They make this amazing, like, crackling noise when the waves come up.
Her distinctive Māori design elements have attracted a high-profile client.
It's a lot of fun, yeah. Yeah, I just like how the lines are really flattering.
Gabrielle Rush is the New Zealand High Commissioner to Singapore.
So So I reached out to Tessa and said, look, we're having a Matariki celebration. It's 60th anniversary of Singapore-New Zealand relations.
Why is it so important to you to represent New Zealand brands, to embody New Zealand values in how you present yourself?
Well, it's part of what we're trying to model here. I mean, in the way that we model New Zealand character and culture and heritage. And so this, modelling clothes, is another way in which we can, and particularly where it's a Māori designer, something that's unique to us.
But it hasn't always been so glamorous for Tessa. She was a single mum at just 17, and trying to juggle motherhood with her industrial design studies in Wellington was tough.
There were moments where, you know, I couldn't afford food, going to food banks. I was on the DPB, but all that money went on, like, rent.
A chance meeting in a bar changed her life and her geography.
I met Tess in a bar in Melbourne, and she introduced herself as a New Zealander. And then I proudly proclaimed that I was a Māori. And then she proudly spoke te reo, which I was not able to speak. So I'll never use that pickup line again, but it worked out okay.
Kia ū ki ngā mātā pono Māori. They stay true to their Māori values as much as possible.
The house is its own entity. It's not our house, so it's somewhere that, it's like part of the community. It's like our marae.
Tessa is now looking to take her Māori fusion fashion even further afield.
I want to be a part of the Haute Couture. That's a dream, to be a part of the Haute Couture Federation. And I want to be able to, one day showcase at Couture Fashion Week in Paris.
No matter what happens, she knows she'll be okay.
If I lost everything tomorrow, I'd probably still find a sewing machine and, sit on the streets and make clothes for people.
And wherever in the world she goes, it's Waitara that will always have her heart.
If I'm away for too long, I feel like I'm craving to go home. Just feel like it sort of restores my cup.
And our crew travelled courtesy of Tessa for that story. Koe rawa tātou kōrero I tēnei wiki. That is us for this week. Ko kuria ke te kōrero ki te pātū o tō tātou whare ia neina. Join us next week for more from the hui. Until then, kia mau ki te tūranga o taputupua Aotea. Haumi e, hui e, tae ki e. Nā te puna whakatongarewa, te hui I tautoko.